Boy, what a great day. We're up here in Waterbury up here on top of a roof. We thought we'd talk about fall protection, but before I get going, it's kind of funny. We get all kinds of stuff sent into us now with these whole Toolbox socks. Look at this friggin' Cody. They sent you a gator from Mitchell's. Mitchell sent you a gator. You can have a gator. And we got DeMag sent us a t-shirt to wear while we're up here doing these things. And we thought we even got friggin' Smuggler's Notch sent us best tasting friggin' hand sanitizer going from there from Smuggler's Notch. But it's a great day up here in Waterbury. We're on top of a roof. We're going to talk a little bit about fall protection here with Cody. They're working on a building up here. How about them rails? Yeah. So we talk about fall protection, and we got to look at actually three elements. How do I protect somebody from falling, right?
Sure.
And how do you protect people from falling?
Either have a railing system, a guide, or have a lanyard hooked up.
Okay, a lanyard and a guide, and boy, you got a lot of shit you can do to keep people from falling. But your rails, that's like the first line of defense, right?
Yes.
It's the first thing we want people to do, put a rail out there.
Yep.
And so your rails, I see your rails are up here. What's the height of rails?
So top of the rail is 42 inches, your middle rail is 21 inches, and then your kick plate at the bottom is tight to the bottom.
Kick plate. That's always important in case people are working underneath. They don't have their hard hats or something on. You kick something down on them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. And I notice you got the spreads about 8 feet apart, on your stanchions, I believe they're called, right?
Yep.
Stanchions being about 8 feet. That's good stuff. So we got a rail going across. But if I can't do a rail, what do we do?
Well, we can either have a center point hooked up to the lanyard, or we can have a guide system who is constantly watching to make sure nobody gets closer to the edge.
You call it a guide system, I call it a monitor. I want somebody to watch as I go over the side, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But a monitor, and what you're saying is right.
Yes.
That monitor is supposed to be watching so that we don't go over the edge or don't get too close.
Exactly.
And you can use that monitor within 6 feet, right?
Yes.
That's the rule, 6 feet away and 6 feet down.
Yes, sir.
I want to have some type of, sir, what the frig was that? You said, sir. I want to have some sort of safety element built into it.
Yes.
And then, you ever realize why somebody hands you a friggin' harness?
So that they can pass over liability.
No, why do they hand you a harness? This is funny. Why does somebody ever hand you a harness? The reason they hand you a harness is because they know you're gonna fall. They do.
Yeah.
They've given up on everything else, and you're gonna go over the edge. So they give you a harness so they can catch you halfway down. You ever fall?
I have not.
Oh, there's some bad stuff happens when you fall.
Oh, I could have.
But I noticed you got your harness on already.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? How's that working for you?
Works good. It's snug. It's tight, but not too tight.
Yeah? You check them before?
I do every time I put it on.
I watched you when you were putting yours on, and you went to throw it on, and I watched, and for some reason, when you did so, you squatted down a little bit.
Yes.
I saw you squat like you were taking a crap out in the woods. You squatted down. Why is that?
So if you tighten your harness up without squatting down, you can't get a good wrap around your butt. And when you squat down, it wraps around so that it doesn't have a pinch point if you were to be hanging.
So where to be hanging? How long could you hang?
Well, it's not very long. Minutes.
Minutes?
Minutes.
Actually about 20 or 25.
Yeah.
So you want to be as comfortable as you can.
Before you die.
Before you go, right? Or while everybody else is trying to get ready to rescue you. There's a good thing. Somebody hands you a harness. They're actually handing it to you because they believe you're going to fall. And if they believe you're going to fall, wouldn't you want to know how they're going to rescue you?
Yes.
I mean, that's important, right?
Yes, definitely.
So we want to know how they're going to rescue us, because if you ever watch these guys after you fall, they take pictures and everything, Facebook them. Look at Facebook Cody out there after he's fallen. Instead of that time it takes to hurry up and get a ladder or something, a loader or a man lift to get you back up to where you fell from.
Yes.
It's important stuff. When we start looking again, we said 6 feet, we said all this stuff. Fall protection isn't only that, and it's stuff falling from the top, right?
Yes, exactly.
So when we talk about fall protection, we also got to talk about the wearing the hard hat so stuff doesn't fall on us. And then I notice we're on a pretty finished floor here, but generally anything over 2 inches.
Yes.
Any hole over 2 inches, you'd have some type of covering or something. It'd be marked. I noticed in the building you had a couple holes covered in the guy that wrote cover on them. You got to tell him there's an E in cover, okay? There's an E in that word. It's C-O-V-E-R, cover.
They need some help with that.
Okay, but you got scaffolding up here. Now the scaffolding fall protection piece is 10 feet, right?
Yes,
I saw you guys working on scaffolding. It's 10 feet. And then ours is 6 feet. And again, our first line of defense would be the railing. And then our second would be try to tell you not to get too close to the edge.
Yes.
Then we can go to a monitoring system, somebody watching you, and that's their only job.
Yes.
Is monitoring, is just watching you. They can't be going for coffee, they can't be doing anything else, they gotta be monitoring you. And then the final piece would be, of course, the fall harnesses, because we know you're gonna fall.
Exactly.
Right? That's pretty good. The other ones, Cody, I see you want to grab that step ladder.
Yes.
He's got a step ladder up here, and we were talking about step ladders and ladders, and we had to climb a ladder to get on the roof. And of course, climbing ladders is always good. The ladder piece has to do with stepping. There we go. Look, I got this auto device here that keeps me going, right? But we got this step ladder right here, and we were climbing the ladder. I noticed you checked the ladder before we got on it.
Yes.
And we checked the ladder before we came up. It looked like the top of the ladder was about 3 feet above the top of the roof. 3 feet, 3 rails, and we climbed up. And when you're climbing a ladder, you always hold 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact constantly. That's always good. You always use a step ladder in its open form, right? I mean, you never lean it against the friggin' wall. It'll slide out from under you.
Exactly.
Anything else you got?
Well, we do actually. We recently did just get some leanable step ladders.
Did you?
Donnie Blake purchased a good handful of them, and they're designed with a rubber pad on the top and more rubber on the bottom, so it prevents it from kicking out, and the design is a little bit different, so they are actually legal leanable step ladders.
Okay, have you told OSHA you got leanable? Because that's where we're going to have problems. Look we got a friggin' leaning step ladder.
We'll just wait until they see it.
Wait till they see it, and then we'll try to explain.
Yes.
You always make sure your labels are on the side.
Yes.
Again, check the step ladder, make sure it's okay, check the ladder, do an inspection. We're on inspections, and I just threw this harness on quickly.
Without inspecting it.
Without inspecting it. So you always want to take a look at your harnesses, just make sure everything's fine, everything looks good. There's no wear on the straps and stuff, and then you always use a double locking lanyard to and never connect them off to a step ladder, but you always lock them on like that, and you always make sure the shock absorber right next to you, right?
Yes.
Because you want to hear it friggin' rip. You always want to hear it rip when it goes, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a good sound.
It's a good sound before you hit.
Just before it stops you. So I want to remind you all out here we're, again, out on a site. We got to continue to practice this whole COVID thing, right?
Yes.
I mean, Hand sanitizer, we said, wash your hands, keep your hands clean. Don't stop at friggin' Cumbies. Do not go to Cumbies or Champlain Farms and get that coffee and pump. You ever see those guys friggin' walk into Champlain Farms, they start pumping right there on the coffee machine.
All of them.
And then they got COVID hand, and then they put the COVID hand on the top of the cup. And then they got COVID cup, and then they drink it, and they got COVID lips. It's friggin' terrible. They don't get it. We got to carry our coffee and stuff. But remember, don't let your guard down. Always keep your masks up. Keep your masks up 6 feet. As long as we stay 6 feet away, we're pretty good.
Yes.
Cody's got a new friggin' mask right there. He's happy as hell. The other side of this, Cody, I just want to remind you, is they aren't only masks, but they're cooling devices, okay?
Oh.
So if you turn around and dip it in water, dip it down in water and then put it on, it keeps you cool too.
Sure.
And then when I'm close to you, I get up close to Cody, I pull my mask right up and I'm pretty good. So don't let your guard down.
Never.
Keep that mask up. My name's Richard Wobby. I'm with the Associated General Contractors. We look forward to doing more of these. If you got one you want to see, you give us a call at 802-223-2374. Thank you all for listening today.